Okay, let's get started. Hey freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, today's video I'm going to be giving you my full review with spoilers of the Munsters. This is the new version that just hit Netflix by Rob Zombie, and it was an experience. Now, as always, our reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them just to see if this was worth it or not, in the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review because I like to give you guys two options. So given that little talking disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. Now, I can't remember when the trailer came out, I did a reaction to it. Whew, that was an experience. Many people were saying that this looked like trash, that it was bad, and I didn't saw many people saying that this was good or that they were actually excited for it. I was interested, but excited, no. But safe to say that the film is not as bad as the trailer looks to be, but remember, as bad, because this film definitely is not great either. Now, the Munsters follow the Herman and Lily's crazy courtship takes the Munsters on a hauntingly hilarious trip from Transylvania to Hollywood. Basically, the film it's like an origin story, like not precisely like origin to each individual character, but it's just showing how Herman and Lily got together, how they met, how when they get married, and they're looking for a house. And we also are shown the fact that Grandpa Munster is not very happy with Lily's decision of being with Herman, so he's at the same time trying to get them like separated by him created like the perfect boyfriend. He fails. He tries to sabotage the wedding, but once again he fails. And the story is very simple, but the film it's 1 hour and 49 minutes, which is in my opinion way too long. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the things that I like about the film. Now, one of the first things that I said on my reaction to the trailer was that I was really interested into see into full details the Lily's Munsters new dress. I owned the classic one. I did her as a Halloween costume last year. I'm gonna picture here, like if you're interested in seeing myself as Lily Munster. I love her and I love that dress. So I was really interested in seeing this new version. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I prefer like the original, but in general, I really like the costumes. Since the film is in color, of course, we are able to appreciate them a little bit more. And I actually enjoyed them a lot. And also like the makeup and all that kind of stuff looked pretty good. I read someone saying that the sets, because they are in color, when we are able to see them in full details, they look pretty cheap. But in my opinion, I think that that was the intention, because the film tries so hard to emulate a 60s sitcom that is part of it, and it didn't bother me at all. I actually like it. Like I really like it. Every single one of the sets and the houses, the outsides, the insides, like they look really good. Of course, they kind of look cheap, but I am not bothered by that because I understand that to a certain extent it's made on purpose because the film is trying to emulate that feeling of a sitcom. And to add to that sitcom feeling, the other thing that I like it was the ending of the film, that it's this recreation of the original opening of the show that we saw it already on the trailer and the teaser trailer. I don't think that that was a good idea. I get it that they decided to use it as the teaser and then on the trailer to give some hype, but it's not a surprise. Like I would have been took by surprise completely if I am watching the film and the film ends with that recreation. That I saw someone on Twitter like a side by side to the original show and look at like almost identical. So looks pretty good. So don't give me that until the end. So just give me just a little bit. Like let me know that you're going to recreate it, but don't show it completely if that's the ending of the film. But on the things that I didn't like, I said, the film, it's not as bad as the trailer makes it look, but it's not the greatest either. Now, one of the first things that I disliked it was the humor. And you might be thinking, but this is supposed to be campy and all of that. Yes, I am not bothered by that because the film is very campy, but the humor is not good. Like, you can make something campy but with good humor. I mean, the show, it's really good, has good jokes. This one, it doesn't. Like, I only laugh at one joke. Is at the very beginning. It's a zombie, and he's asking, "Do you actually eat brains?" And he's like, "Yeah, like them. I think that is with barbecue," that he says, "and with French fries." And I found that pretty funny. After that, nothing else. Like, I didn't found myself like actually enjoying this experience because it was. And the second thing that I dislike it is how long it is. The film is 1 hour and 49 minutes, and it could have been easily 1 hour and 20 maximum, because I read some people complaining and saying that this film felt like a pilot of the series, but like giving it on the context that the story is not like enough to make it such a long film. And it feels like this type of bubblegum that you're trying to stretch as much as possible, but you can't anymore. The story is way too simple. It's literally a Lily Monster trying to find a man to get married. She sees Herman, he's singing, he's just back into life. She falls in love with him. They got together, he proposes. Grandpa is trying to make the perfect boyfriend, but he's failing all of that. They got married and they're looking for a house, and it ends with the intro of the show. That's it. All of that, you could have done it so quick that there's so many scenes that are so unnecessary that it turns boring. That's the word to describe the film. It's boring as hell. It didn't catch my attention. Like, there wasn't a moment that I felt like I was really into the film. Like, I was watching it as a compromise because I knew that there were people that were asking me for this review. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it. Also, this film, the horror elements, nowhere to be found. Like, I really feel like the reason why this film is considered a horror comedy just because it's about the monsters. Because the film, it's pure comedy. Horror, nowhere to be found. And of course, horror comedy, of course, they do exist, but definitely this one, it doesn't feel like horror comedy at all. It's just comedy. And the thing that I dislike the most is the acting. Something that I mentioned on my reaction to the trailer was that I felt that Sherry Moon Zombie wasn't the right person to portray a new Lily Monster. And the film just gave me more reasons for it. She felt over exaggerated. I didn't feel her as Lily Monster. I don't know if maybe it was just me, but for me, her, it wasn't the right person. And I know, of course, because it's Rob Zombie, she was going to be in it. Like, she's in every single one of his films. Like, I am not bothered by that. I mean, there's so many directors that do that, like Mike Flanagan, he does that also. Tim Burton when he was with Elena Bonham Carter. So it's not something I am bothered, but her as a Lily Monster, like, she wasn't it. And for the rest of the characters, something wasn't like clicking there for me, at least, like I said. But generally speaking, I feel like this film was boring, and I think they could have been a little bit better. Now, definitely, I don't feel like Rob Zombie was the right person to also do the film. I am not saying specifically that Tim Burton should have been the man, but Tim Burton has a little bit more of an experience into this type of family-friendly horror comedy, if you want to call it. Of course, we know that he did Dark Shadows a few years ago. I liked that film, but because I was a child when I watched it and the film came out, I think it was 2012. I don't know. It was 2012? Like, that film, it's old. Like, yeah, 2012. I was 12 years old when that film came out, and since I have been a diehard fan of Tim Burton, I love the film. Of course, when I watched it many years later, I was like, Okay, this is not good. I watched eventually the Dark Shadows original series, and I get why many people didn't like it, the Tim Burton's version, but as a kid, I actually enjoyed the film. So I feel like Rob Zombie wasn't just meant for doing this. And of course, then we have Burton doing this year another adaptation of these sitcoms that is Wednesday, that is based on the Addams Family character, of course, Wednesday Addams. That series is actually coming in November. I was hoping this one to be coming in October. It will have fit perfectly, but since there's so many things coming in October, I think that they prefer just leave it to November since there are way less horror projects coming. Because horror in October, of course, it's when most things come out, but there's so much. I think that maybe could have been get lost a little bit, so I am not mad completely about them pushing Wednesday until November, but it looks really good. So I trust Tim Burton into that a little bit more than I would have trusted Rob Zombie. Now, if I were going to give it a rating, damn it, I think that this one will be a 2 out of 5, maybe. Yeah, I think that a 2, because like giving it a 1, I think it is way too harsh since I didn't hate it, but it was just boring and just a film that I wouldn't rewatch. And it's a 4 out of 10. Like, yeah, it's a 4 out of 10 and a 2 out of 5. If you like the film, like, why? Like, seriously, I'm really interested to hear people who actually enjoyed this one. I would love to hear kids' perspective on this because, like I said, I like it Dark Shadows because I was a kid. And I will be really interested in to hear what children's perspective and how they feel about the film, since it's family friendly. Maybe since the jokes and how everything is, maybe they will find it more funny and very entertaining. So, and visually, of course, is going to bring the attention. I think that that's the best part of the film is that visually is really good, but for the rest, not so much. But well, I think that this is all. Thank you so much for watching. This is the last video that you're going to be seeing from me, like on the present day, because from Friday to almost the end of the month, every single video that you're going to be seeing of me is going to be pre-recorded since I am leaving in 2 days for 3 weeks on a family trip. Of course, you guys, I'm going to be having some videos. And about the reviews and everything, I will be talking more in detail on other videos coming, specifically about all the horror films and series coming in October. That video will be coming on Saturday. So I will be go deeper into that and how I'm going to be managing things. Not disappearing, but just a warning that this is the last video, like doing it and like posting it, not being pre-recorded. But well, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye.